What happened to Israel due to their disobedience again? How important was the ark, chest, or box of the covenant? Is the Ark of the Covenant now in heaven? Let's begin in 1 Samuel 4. Did the Philistines defeat Israel in battle? Did people think that the ark, rather than obedience, would save them? And the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistines to battle, and pitched beside Ebenezer. And the Philistines pitched in Aphek. And the Philistines put themselves in array against Israel. And when they joined battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines. And they slew of the army in the field about 4,000 men. And when the people were come into the camp, the elders of Israel said, Wherefore has the Lord smitten us today before the Philistines? Let's fetch the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of Shiloh to us, that when it comes among us, it may save us out of the hand of our enemies. So the people sent to Shiloh, that they might bring from there the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, which dwells between the cherubs. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. Did the Philistines grow concerned about Israel's enthusiasm for the ark? And it happened that as the ark of the covenant of Yahweh came into the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth was thrown into confusion. Then the Philistines heard the noise of the shout and said, What does the noise of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews mean? Then they knew that the ark of Yahweh had come into the camp, and the Philistines were afraid, for they said, God is coming to the camp. And they said, Woe to us, for nothing like this has happened before. Woe to us! Who shall deliver us from the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods who struck the Egyptians with all kinds of plagues in the wilderness. Be strong and become men, O Philistines, lest you become slaves to the Hebrews, as they've been slaves to you. Therefore become men and fight. What happened after the Ark of the Covenant was stolen? So the Philistines fought, and Israel was defeated, and every man fled to his tent. And the defeat was very great, for 30,000 foot soldiers of Israel fell. Moreover, the ark of God was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, died. What happened when bad news came to Eli, the high priest? That same day, a Benjamite man ran from the battle line and went to Shiloh with his clothes torn and dust on his head. When he arrived, there was Eli sitting on his chair by the side of the road, watching, because his heart feared for the ark of God. When the man entered the town and told what had happened, the whole town sent up a cry. Eli heard the outcry and asked, What's the meaning of this uproar? The man hurried over to Eli, who was 98 years old, and whose eyes had failed, so that he couldn't see. He told Eli, I've just come from the battle line. I fled from it this very day. Eli asked, What happened, my son? The man who brought the news replied, Israel fled before the Philistines, and the army has suffered heavy losses. Also your two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead, and the ark of God has been captured. When he mentioned the ark of God, Eli fell backward off his chair by the side of the gate. His neck was broken and he died, for he was an old man, and he was heavy. He'd led Israel 40 years. Why did Phinehas's grieving widow name her newborn son Ichabod? Now his daughter-in-law, Phinehas's wife, was with child, due to be delivered. And when she heard the news that the ark of God was captured, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed herself and gave birth, for her labor pains came upon her. And about the time of her death, the women who stood by her said to her, Don't fear, for you've borne a son. But she didn't answer, nor did she regard it. Then she named the child Ichabod, saying, "The glory has departed from Israel," because the ark of God had been captured, and because of her father-in-law and her husband. And she said, "The glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God has been captured." What's required for salvation? Faith alone, or a faith that includes obedience? In this way, God qualified him, that is Jesus, as a perfect high priest, and he became the source of eternal salvation for all those who obey him. What could it mean that the Ark of the Covenant's in heaven? Is it the same ark? God's temple that's in heaven was opened, and the Ark of the Lord's covenant was seen in his temple. What happened to Israel due to their disobedience again? How important was the ark, chest or box of the covenant? Is the Ark of the Covenant now in heaven? You decide.